2020 government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order number 6, notices of motion as listed in Appendix 2. Honorable Nima Ahmed Saleh.
Chair of the Budget Committee.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give the following notices of motion. That this Assembly adopt the report of Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation and Annual Development Plan ADP for financial year 2020-2023 for Wajir County Government laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. 2. That this Assembly adopt the report of the Select Committee on Finance
of the report of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the Annual Development Plan for the financial year 2022-2023 for Wajir County Government.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the Assembly adopt the report of Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation on the Annual Development Plan ADP for financial year 2022-2023 for Wajir County Government laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. Report of Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation on the Annual Development Plan ADP for financial year 2022-2023 for Wajir County Government, October 2022. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the members of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation and pursuant to the provision of Section 1263 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, it is my pleasure to present this report to the Annual Development Plan 2020-2023. Section 126.3 of the PFM Act 2012 provides that the County Executive Committee member responsible for planning shall not later than the 1st September in each year submit the development plan to the County Assembly for its approval and send a copy to the Commission on Regional Allocation and National Treasury. Mr. Speaker, sir, this requirement was adhered to. It is important to note that passage and approval of the Wajir County Annual Development Plan 2022-2023 laid before because of late submission by the County Executive. It is worthy to note that ADP is a critical document in the budget process as it outlines the sector priorities to be undertaken in financial year. It is imperative to remember that the ADP is a policy document that specifies They approve strategic priorities and policy goals that will guide the county government in preparing its budget for the coming financial year and over the medium term. As part of the process of the budget cycle, in line with the provision of our standing order, the document was tabled and committed to the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committees for review and examine the specific focus on the programs and priorities of all county departments. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 221 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the Public Finance Management Act 18 of 2012 contemplate that a committee of assembly to do an oversight budget process. Consequently, our very own standing order 194-133 established the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee with a specific mandate, among which is to: 1. Investigate, inquire into and reports on all matters related to coordination, control, and monitoring of the county budget. 2. Discuss and review the estimates and make recommendations to the county assembly. 3. Examine the county fiscal strategy paper presented to the county assembly. 4. Examine bills related to the county budget, including appropriation bill. 5. Evaluate tax estimates, economic and budgetary policies and programs with direct budget outlay. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Wajir County Assembly Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee comprises of the following 11 members. 1. Ahmed Samawi, Chairperson. 2. Hon Adam Abdi Bilal, Vice Chairperson. 3. Hon Adam Nur Ibrahim, Member. 4. Hon Yusuf Muhammad, Member. Adam, Member. 8. Hon Abdirashid Lumi, Member. 9. Hon Abdurazak Dakat, Member. 10. Hon Dara Yusuf Farah, Member. 11. Hon Mahad Muhammad, Member. Examination of the Annual Development Plan 2020-2023. In the course of deliberation on the ADP for financial year 2020-2023, the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee the scrutiny and analyze the document. The Annual Development Plan was submitted to the County Assembly on 24 September 2021 and subsequently laid on 25 October 2022 and committed to this committee on the same day for consideration and subsequent report back to the Assembly. This was totally in contradiction with the Section 126(3) of PFM Act 2012, which states that the County Executive Committee members responsible for planning shall not later than the 1st September in each year submit the development plan to the County Assembly for its approval. Mr. Speaker, sir, this committee strongly recommend and advise the County Executive Committee member responsible for the planning to strictly adhere and honor provision of law regarding planning, budget cycle, and further ensure that all actors in the budget process complies with the timelines provided in law with regards to submission and approval of various budget documents. Mr. Speaker, sir, the process of consideration of annual development plan was tedious task that could not have been achieved without the committee members and their dedication, empowering commitment and valuable contribution. It is because of the dedication that we have been able to complete this demanding task. Mr. Speaker, the committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support received as it discharged its mandate of the reviewing, analyzing, and reporting on the Annual Development Plan 2022-2023. The committee also wishes to acknowledge the members of the public for having honored the the call of the County Assembly to take part in public hearing and participation which took place in the County ICT Hall, Wajir Municipality. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is therefore my pleasant duty and privilege on behalf of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee to table this report on the Annual Development Plan 2022-2023. Scrutiny of the Annual Development Plan 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, fiscal planning is a stage during which government considers and decides on a range of development priorities, projects, programs that it intends to pursue over the lifespan of the county government. These plans are undertaken within the available resource limits and with adequate consultation with the stakeholders that the development activity will affect. The provision of Section 104(1) of the County Government Act 2012 decrees that the county government shall plan for the county and no public funds shall be appropriated outside the planning framework developed by the county executive and approved by the county assembly. This provision of the County Government Act clearly elucidates that the planning is primary step of the county budget process. The county planning process starts with the preparation of 5-year CIDP, which provides clear goals and objectives, accompanied with implementation metrics for the realization of the set outcomes. These are prepared in addition to the strategic and sectoral plan. The Annual Development Plan (ADP) is a plan born from the County Integrated Development Plan (CIDP) and focuses on the issues of development projects in the county. It is indicative of the development priorities of the county as enriched in the master plan CIDP, the CIDP, which will inform the budget for the subsequent financial year. The ADP translates to the county fiscal strategy paper for subsequent financial year. In this case, the financial year 2022-2023 in terms of the development priorities and therefore is intended to inform the subsequent budget hearings, being crucial document in the budget process. The county ADP should be a milestone that seeks to highlight county development priorities, which eventually spurs economic growth in the county. It should stress on prudent fiscal policy to reinforce county government's commitment to responsible financial management practices. The PFM Act 2012 sets a minimum of 30% of total expenditure of budget which should be set aside for development expenditure in the medium term. It is expected that once the development priorities are spelled out in the ADP 2022-2023, this will be enable the county meet the threshold of the development expenditure for financial year 2022-2023 as stipulated in the PFM Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the work of spiraling or balloon rate pay and the various economic challenges within the county, there is need to observe strict fiscal discipline while giving close attention to areas that will spur economic growth of the county. The key focus should be put the county priority plan and programs to ensure improved service delivery and prompt implementation of budgeted for the activities. Compliance of the annual budget, compliance for the annual development plan 2022-2023 to the prevailing legislation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ADP is a document that ensures prudent use of the public resource by ensuring that the county has consistent and predictable improvement by bringing together the many development agents into one round the table for focused mission. In fact, Section 125(1)(a) of the Public Finance Management Act, PFM Act 2012, records that The budget process in any financial year shall consist of integrated development planning process, which shall include both long-term and medium-term planning. Further, the provisions of Section 1263 of the BFM Act 2012 explicit that not later than 1st September of each year, the County Executive Committee member for planning shall submit the development plan to the County Assembly for approval. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee clearly reported that the above sections of the law have not been fully complied with. Document and ODP in particular will have positive effect on all the subsequent budget process without any delay. Section 126 of the PFM Act 2012 states as follows. 1. Every county government shall prepare development plan in accordance with Article 222 of Constitution that includes strategic priorities for the medium term that reflect the county government's priority and plans. B. A description of how the county government is responding to changes in the financial and economic environment. C. The strategic priorities to which the program will contribute. 2. The services or goods to be provided. 3. The measurable indicators of performance where feasible. 5. The budgets allocated to the program. B. Payment to be made on behalf of the county government, including details of any grants, benefits, and subsidies that are to be paid. E. A description of significant capital development. F. A detailed description of proposal with respect to the development of the physical, intellectual, human, and other resources of the county, including measurable indicators where these are feasible. G. A summary of budget in format required by the regulators. And H. Such other matters as may be required by the Constitution or this Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, in revising the ADB, the Budget Committee noted that to some extent the plan had met the statutory threshold stated in the County Government Act 2012 and the PFM Act 2012. The ADB made a considerable attempt to evaluate the strategies that the county will aim to pursue in the medium term period and provide some of the priorities to be pursued. Key observations. 1. The analysis of achievement of some department is very brief, that is missing the total summary of subsector programs. 2. On challenges experienced during implementation of the previous ADB. This is very brief. Also, the challenges should not be sector-based, but rather overall challenges for the county in implementing the ADB. 3. On lessons learned and recommendations, just like the challenges, they should not be sector-based, but rather overall lessons and recommendations for the county for the next planning and implementation of the ADB. Committee recommendations. The Economic and Planning Department should ensure timely forwarding of the annual development plan for approval as required by Section 1263 of the BFM Act 2012, and it should be submitted in such format as prescribed under Article 222A of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. 2. The target set for the local revenue in the medium term is not attainable, considering the poor performance that has been in the local revenue in the county. In this regard, The Budget Committee strongly recommends to the county treasury to give strategies for improving or collecting the targeted revenue in the regional plan. Further, the county treasury should avoid setting unrealistic revenue projection. 3. That all the county departments should strive to ensure the programs are prioritized to ensure the county realizes its development agenda. 4. That the county should consider other challenges such as inadequate policy and planning framework, e.g. the lack of sectoral and spatial plans. To guide in CIDP and the ADP formulation that helps identify sector priorities, weak enforcement of the county laws and policies, e.g. Finance Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, that this House resolved to approve the proposed annual development plan 2022-2023 and the report of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee on the annual development plan for the financial year 2022-2023. Adoption of the report. We, the undersigned members of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, I move the motion and I request the Vice Chair Budget, Mr. Alan Bullock, to second me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I take this opportunity to second the motion? Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the motion that this assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the Annual Development Plan ADP for financial year 2022-2023 for Wajir County Government, laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. The floor is open for debate on the motion, please. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate on the motion. Honorable members, looks like you are very happy with what the chair for the budget committee has put on the report. So I now put the question. Okay, Honorable Mohammed from DIF, Honorable Member for DIF.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm a little bit confused here, and I could have request for clarification that CFSP, that is County Fiscal Strategy Plan, and we have got like 3 documents here, or 3 motions, and also there is budget estimate. There is also annual development plan. According to me, and the little training that I got, I thought that we should first have CFSP, which could have been in the assembly from February 28. Since there was several circumstances that couldn't allow, but still, I believe and think that the House can't have all these three essential budget, or I mean bills, discussed at once. So, according to me, this first CFSB could have been discussed. We could have go for public participation. With these recommendations, it could have gave us the estimate budget. Again, the same procedure that we could have come up with, ADP maybe. So I'm a little bit confused here. Which one comes first? And already we are discussing on our report. Thank you.
Honorable Mohammed, these documents, the annual development plan, the county fiscal strategy paper, the county integrated development plan, the budget estimates, they are legal timelines that are stipulated in the Public Finance Management Act. The ADP comes before the county fiscal strategy paper. It is the first document that is submitted to the Assembly for perusal, discussion, and public participation. So the order in which the documents are laid is in order, it's proper. Secondly, we are dealing with extraordinary circumstances. These documents ought to have been discussed and put to the public for participation last year. Actually, they were supposed to have been submitted around February. So it is in light of this ordinary circumstance that we're here today trying to put all these documents together so that we attend to the needs of the community that we are serving. Next member. Honorable Habiba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and House as a large. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, since there is a drought and our voters are suffering because of the drought, I rise to support and I request the whole members also to pass this motion because it is our needs. Our people are dying. Since we are in these comfortable zones that we are honorable MCS, the voters which have brought us in this beautiful house and made us MCS are suffering and dying. The animals have already gone away. The human beings are also suffering. With that, I support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ali.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thought the committee
Honorable Des.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this is a house of honorable members. As per your communication yesterday, there are parliamentary etiquettes in this
Honorable members, please. A member is on the floor and is discussing a serious matter.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this is a very honorable house. As per the communication you gave yesterday to this honorable house, that we should have decent dress code in this honorable house. So is the honorable member, first of all, in order to be in this house before he even debates, as per his dress code?
Honorable members, yesterday there was a communication from the chair regarding the manner and the mode of dress in the assembly, and it was well stipulated.
Mr. Speaker, I think we are not in a school or a boarding school, and we cannot be forced to wear certain clothes. The way I am is the way I am satisfied. This is the best clothes I can wear.
Honorable Ali,
Yeah.
you're out of order, please. Honorable Ali, you cannot contribute to the debate if you are out of order. Honorable Deis has put forward a very important issue. If the communications from the chair and the standing orders of the assembly are not going to be complied with by the honorable members, then we will be a dishonorable house.
I would request, Mr. Speaker, maybe next time I will come with the best tie. Allow me to continue with my contribution. And I also urge members.
Honorable Ali,
Yeah.
I just want to a house of laws that we must strictly comply with orders and communication from the chair. And we must be an example to the society that we are serving. Honorable Ali, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was contributing to the budget. Mr. Speaker, I thought there is a lot of crude information. It just needs some experts to explain, and I thought the committee, after the chairperson has laid down and explained, we thought so other members of the committee, because they are part and parcel of the team, to highlight and actually give some information, which of course you are answering and you are giving out us some information. Maybe we are in the process of learning, and next time maybe we will have a better way of actually reacting to when such papers are laid down. But there are so many issues which are actually in the budget, which needs to be followed up later on, because our work is oversight. And I will assure members that we will actually be following up this budget as it is on the paper, as the work of the members to oversight and follow up.
Honorable Ali, kindly limit your discussion on the annual development plan. The budget is coming. The budget estimates are yet to come.
Yeah, the annual plan, Mr. Speaker, I support it. It is the plan that will actually assist the people of Wajir County. It is prepared by maybe experts from the planning department of Wajir County, the executive. I support the plan. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the Annual Development Plan, ADP, for financial year 2022-2023 for Wajir County Government, laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order, please.
Order number 9, motion. adoption of the report of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper, CFSP 2022.
Honorable Chair for the committee, Honorable Nim'o.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On Speaker, I beg to move a motion that this Assembly adopt the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation on Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper CFSP 2022 laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. Renewable. Mr. Speaker, sir, the requirement for the county treasurer to submit to this county assembly the county fiscal strategy paper for approval is strengthened in the provisions of section 117(1) of the PFM Act 18th of 2012. The provision calls for the county treasurer to present the document to the county assembly by 28th February of every year and be approved not later than 15th day of the following month. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is imperative to remind members that the county fiscal strategy paper is a policy document that specifies the broad strategic priorities and policy goals that will guide the county government in preparing its budget for coming financial year and over the medium term. The CSFP also provides the financial outlook with respect to county government revenues, expenditures, and borrowing for the same duration. It is worthy to note that CFSP is a critical document in the budget process as it sets the ceiling and outlines sector priorities to the undertaking in financial year. The policy paper also enables the county assembly to exercise its full mandate of approving the county budget with wider scope as informed adjustments are allowed. The county fiscal strategy paper for financial year 2022-2023 was submitted to the assembly on 28th February 2022 as required by section 117(1) of the PFM Act 2012 and our standing order 216(1). Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 221 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the Public Finance Management Act 18th of 2012 contemplate that the committee of an assembly to do an oversight budget process. Consequently, our very own standing order 194.3 establishes the Finance Budget Appropriation Committee with a specific mandate, among which is to 1. Investigate, inquire into and report on all matters related to coordination, control, and monitoring of the county budget. 2. Discuss and review the estimate and make recommendations to the county assembly. 3. Examine the county fiscal strategy paper presented to the county assembly. 4. Examine bills related to the county budget, including appropriation bill. 5. Evaluate tax estimates, economic and budgetary policies and programs with direct budget outlay. Committee membership. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Wajir County Assembly Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee comprises of the following 11 members. I, Hamid Ahmed Sanay, Chairperson. 2. Adam Abdullah, Vice Chairperson. 3. Adam Noor Ibrahim, Member. 4. Yusuf Mohammed, Member. 5. Abdulrazak Adai, Member. 6. Mahfouza Abdullahi, Member. 7. Abdurrashid Adam, Member. 8 when Abdurrashid Lenin member, 9 when Abdurazak Bakar member, 10 when Bahaba Yusuf Farah member, 11 when Nifat Muhammad member. Examination of the county fiscal strategy paper for financial year 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is the first CFSP that the members of the budget committee in the third assembly of Wajir County government have had the utmost privileges to consider and recommends this house for adoption. In reviewing the 2022-2023 CFSP, the committee held a meeting to deliberate on the document. Acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank members of Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee for their dedication, untiring commitment and valuable contribution. It is because of their dedication that we have been able to complete this demanding task within the stipulated time. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support received as it discharged. It is mandate to of reviewing, analyzing, and reporting on the county fiscal strategy paper 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is therefore my pleasant duty and privilege on behalf of Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee to table this report and recommend it to the Assembly for adoption. Scrutiny of the Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2022. Mr. Speaker, sir, the importance of the report of the Budget Committee on the Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper is to provide schedule of overall projected revenue and ceiling recommended for the county government and the county assembly where necessary the total sums of each vote and the allocation for each program for the fiscal year in question. It therefore goes without saying that this county assembly is the umpire or the intermediary between various actors in the county government on the allocation resources. Mr. Speaker, sir, the provision of Section 104 of the County Governments Act 2012 decree that the county government shall plan for the county and no funds shall be utilized outside the framework developed by the county executive and approved by the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, planning is the primary step of the budgeting and it is meant to ensure that the resources are spent in well thought out, organized and priority areas. The county fiscal strategy paper is therefore a critical pillar of this planning framework of the annual budgeting process. The CFSP is a document that guides the subsequent process in the budget cycle of aligning them in more realistic targets with aim of safeguarding that there is achievable growth trajectory within the resource constraints. In coming up with the paper, the county treasurer is mandated to do a lot of groundwork and intensive consultation with the public and stakeholders before presenting the document to the county assembly for consideration. Mr. Speaker, sir, the provision of Section 117 of the PFM Act 2012 outline the content of CFSP, which is the summary include specification of the broad strategies and policy goals that will guide in budget preparation. 2. Financial outlook with respect to the county government revenues, expenditures, and borrowing for the next financial year and the medium term. 3. The total resources to be allocated to individual programs and projects within various sectors in the county. 4. The proposed expenditure ceiling for the two arms of the government. 5. Financial outlook with respect to the county government borrowing. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is within the sphere of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee to determine whether any budget-related document submitted to this assembly has complied with the statutory regulation as outlined in the PFM Act 2012. During scrutiny of the CFSP, the committee noted that the timeline for its submission was complied with. The document was submitted to the Assembly through the Office of the Clerk on 28 February 2022 in line with the sections 117 of the PFM Act 2012. The committee was also convinced that the document CFSP was procedurally laid before the Assembly on 25 October 2022. The Constitution of Kenya provides the broad principle of public finance, whereas the Public Finance Management Act 2012 set out the rules of how the national and the county government can raise and spend money. Further, Article 201A of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 state that there shall be openness and accountability, including public participation in financial matters. The Constitution places the citizens at the center of everything and promotes the aspect of participation and involvement as the key factor to enhance its successful implementation and good governance. The committee noted that the county government of Wajir has not made any effort to subject the CFSP to any meaningful public participation, ideally public participation in the key budget document, such as CFSP, is purposed to cover considerable localities in the country. Economic growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, aware that the county fiscal strategy paper is supposed to be aligned to the national objective as contained in the budget policy statement, PPS, prepared by the National Treasury. It is worth recognizing the national agenda with regard to economic growth in various government blueprints, including the medium-term plan and Vision 2030 remain focused in attaining the economic growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee notes that the county treasurer highlighted that the great effort have been made in supporting drought mitigation, education, health, water sectors, the construction industry, including overhaul and maintenance of boreholes, supporting small and medium enterprise through revolving fund. Agriculture and livestock is also expected to spur economic growth through enabling technologies like irrigation farming, greenhouse technology, further production, and fruit farming. This intended initiative continue to bear fruit to entire citizenry. Physical performance of 2021, 2022, and the emerging challenges. Mr. Speaker, sir, implementation of the financial year 2021-2022 budget lagged behind targets. The committee noted that in the second quarters of the year, revenue allocations have consistently lagged behind targets due to the underperformance of the main revenue tax heads. On the other hand, there have been elevated expenditure pressures as a result of the adverse spillover effects to the prolonged drought. There were some budget implementation challenges at the beginning of the financial year due to delays in accessing the appropriated funds. The physical performance in the first quarter was low, mainly as a result of delayed disbursement of funds by the National Treasury. Fiscal policies and the budgetary framework. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee noted that the county aims to adhere to the fiscal principle outlined in the PFM Act 2012. Further, there is fiscal reforms that will be pivotal in achieving these objectives, including strengthening and streamlining of financial management systems to ensure efficiency and optimal use of the resource. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee noted that the county treasury is not alive to the fact that the local revenue growth must be realistic, unlike previously, where local revenue projection and collection have been unrealistic. In the financial year 2022-2023 resource envelope, the county treasury envisioned local revenue collection to 2,100 million, which is relatively constant for the past financial years, and the collection of the revenue is far below the target. As such, if collective measures are taken to seal the loopholes in the revenue collection and management system, the target will be realized. Furthermore, the revenue mobilization strategies and automation should be implemented. Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 174 of the PFM Act 2012 provides that the county treasury shall include in the county fiscal strategy paper, among other things, the statement on borrowing for the coming financial year and the medium term. The county treasury has indeed stipulated that it has no intention of acquiring a loan in the near future. Budget for the financial year 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county fiscal strategy paper has documented the budget outlay for the county for the coming financial year by providing guiding policy on expenditure, resource envelope, and prioritization criteria for the financial year 2022-2023, and the allocation for the earmarked fund. Mr. Speaker, sir, the total county budget proposed is Kenya shilling 10,768,308,324, composed of Kenya shilling 7,322,449,661 for the recurrent, representing 68% of the budget, and Kenya shilling 3,445,858,664 for the development expenditure equivalent to 32%. Sector ceiling. Draft CFSP sector ceiling for financial year 2022 and 2023. Departments. Proposed CFSP ceiling. Recurrent, development, and total. 1. County executive, recurrent of 500 million with zero development, total of 500 million. County assembly, 853 million of recurrent and zero development, a total of 853 million. Agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and alternative livelihoods development. Recurrent of 252 million, 660 development million, and a total of 912 million. Roads, transport, and public works department. Recurrent of 135 million, 465 development, and 600, a total of 600 million. ICT, trade, industrialization, cooperative development, with recurrent of 200 million, the development of 85 million, and a total of 285 million. Public health, medical service and sanitation, 2,508, a recurrent of 2,584 million, a development of 500 million, and a total of 3,084 million. Education, youth, gender and social services, development of 581 million, development of 205 million, a total of 794 million. Water services, recurrent of 250 million, development of 450 million, a total of 700 million. Energy, environment and natural resource, recurrent of 84 million, development of 140 million, and a total of 324 million. Lands, housing and physical planning, a recurrent of 84 million, development of 200 million, and a total of 284 million. For youth and economic planning, recurrent of 662 million, development with zero development, and a total of 662 million. Public service and public service and decentralized unit with a recurrent of 675 million, with a development of 50 million, and a total of 725 million. Wajir, a recurrent of 175 million, development of 620 million, and a total of 795 million. County Public Service Board, recurrent of 90 million with zero development and a total of 90 million. Municipality, recurrent of 210 million with 50 development and 50 million development and a total of 260. Total of recurrent is 7,343 million. Total of development is 3,425 million. The total of both recurrent and development is 10,768 million. Proportions, 68% of the recurrent, 32% of the development, and 100% of the total. Mr. Speaker, sir, the healthcare services has the biggest allocation of 30%, 28.6%, as the county government moves towards achieving the universal health programs targets, as well as provides quality and affordable health care services. Mr. Speaker, sir, water has the second largest allocation, combining both the allocation to the Department of Water and Wajir. The water sector is expected to receive 13% of the county allocation. Other departments with considerable allocation include food security, roads, education, social services. Submission from members of the public. Mr. Speaker, sir, members may recall that on 26 October 2022, the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee undertook public hearing on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2022 at the County ICT Hall, Wajir Municipality. The following were some of the recommendations from the members of the public. One, they outlined that there is a need to increase allocation for the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Veterinary Services so as to increase livestock production and to caution livestock farmers from the adverse drought. Two, the allocation of the Department of Education should be increased. The members of the public said this is to cater the development of ECD in all primary schools in the county. Three, the public lauded that the increase in funding for the Department of Medical Services, as it has been as vital and critical department with the essential services. committee recommendations. Mr. Speaker, sir, in addition to the recommendation contained in other parts of this report, the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee recommends the following. 1. The county treasurer avails the specific projects and the programs for all sectors while tabling the coming county budget estimate. 2. The committee also approved and recommends the departmental ceiling for each department as has been projected in the county fiscal strategy paper 2022-2023. 3. The county revenue need to grow for the county to realize full development. To make this possible, the county treasurer should formulate revenue enhancement strategies, including broadening revenue base, strengthening of revenue administration capacity, automation of revenue collection to seal loopholes, and the conducting comprehensive revenue mapping exercise. Number 4, CFSP does not provide policy guidelines on how to deal with pending bills. The committee therefore recommends that the county treasurer to come up with the commitment control policy on how to clear the current pending bills in line with the Public Finance Management Act, PFM, as well as the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Conclusion. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee of the Wajir County Assembly has a role of standing in the gap between the county treasury, the various sectors in the county government, the public and the county assembly on focus for funding. The committee is therefore keen to ensure that the sectors present achievable budget figures and that the same is equivalent to our revenue receipt. In conclusion, the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee recommends that this county assembly adopt the Wajir County Fiscal Strategy paper for financial year 2022-2023. Thank you. I move the motion and I request Adam Miri to second it. Thank you.
Honorable Adenur.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and I also wish to give some inputs for the interest of the members. Mr. Speaker, sir, as stated in the report, pursuant to Section 117(1) of PFM Act, the county treasury shall prepare, as it says, the county treasury shall prepare and submit to the county executive committee the county fiscal strategy paper for approval, and the county treasury shall submit the approved fiscal strategy paper to the county assembly by 28 February, which has been adhered to. The previous county government has prepared the fiscal strategy paper and submitted to the assembly as per required by the law. However, that previous assembly did not pass this very important document as per required by the law, as Section 117(6). But as the new members of the county budget committee, we have taken it up, and in accordance with the law, taken to the public participation together with the other required documents, go through, made the reports, and brought to the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, this document is compliant with the law. If you look at the report, members, if the page 8, Mr. Speaker, these documents is supposed to give about the outlook of the whole budget and also the ceiling of the budget for the financial year 2023. And the law requires at least 30% of the budget to the development projects and not more than the receipt, the revenue receipt to be recurrent expenditure. Now, this document is compliant and it has 68% of the recurrent budget and also 32% of the development budget. That is in compliance with the law, and I think it is important for the House to pass this paper to help the government and also the Assembly to work as per required. Mr. Speaker, sir, the status we are in today is kind of emergency, a total emergency, and with the biting drought, we have lost animals, livestock, the economic backbone, and lives of the people are at stake today. We have no time to waste. The interests of the public, lives of the public are at stake. I therefore request the members, without much ado, to pass this paper and move on to the next papers, to the next papers that are in front of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper, CFSP 2022, laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022, at 2:30 p.m. The floor is now open for debate. Honorable Reis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, first of all, I want to commend the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation for the job well done. I know it has been a very difficult assignment, and given to consideration the limited time they were allocated to make sure they submit all these policy papers and the main budget to this Assembly. And secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the county fiscal strategy paper is not a normal paper. It specifies broad, specific objectives that are aligned with the county priorities and needs. So I think it will guide the county government going forward, since we are in a very difficult situation of drought and famine at an alarming level. I therefore wish this Honorable House to consider this paper and approve it by adopting the recommendations of the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the report itself of the county fiscal strategy paper, the committee has given several recommendations, but before that, I also want to laud the efforts by the members of the public of Wajir County for the recommendations they have made during the public participation that was done on 26 October 2022 at the ICT Hall in Wajir Municipality. Mr. Speaker, sir, as you can see, some of the recommendations from the public are very critical. Department was allocated enough budget. That is the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, and Veterinary Services. Because that one clearly shows that our people, the people of Wajir, their main economic stay and livelihood is agriculture and livestock. So, and I'm sure the committee has put into the recommendations the inputs given by the members of the public. And I can see that they have actually highlighted some of the areas and they gave recommendations to the county treasury to make sure that they realize the achievement of full development for the county in line with the county fiscal strategy paper. As the incoming chairperson of the Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Committee, I also want to laud my committee members, and I request them, our sister and the members of the Budget and Finance Committee, when the next financial year budget when we are preparing, I want you to give due consideration to the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, simply because livestock and agriculture is the main economic lifestyle of our people. And if you go through the estimates, you will find that in terms of development, 616 million was allocated to the department. Out of this, maybe if you go to the budget itself, you'll only find 340 million is for a World Bank funded climate smart agriculture project. That project is targeting only 6 wards out of the 30 wards in Wajir County. We want the Committee on Budget, Appropriations and Finance, together with our committee, I'm going to chair. I don't know who will be my vice chairperson. We want that committee. We'll have a joint sitting, and my recommendations to this honorable house and the respective committees, let us have enough allocations for the Department of Agriculture, not through the World Bank funded project and other donors, but through county-owned source revenue. That now takes me to where the committee has given recommendation in terms of the county itself generating enough revenue. This issue of us borrowing money from elsewhere should cease forthwith. Agriculture and livestock being main our economic lifeline for our people, in line with the recommendations given by the committee. I want to challenge the departmental committees and the respective house committees that we should formulate revenue enhancement measures through the county revenue department so that we have enough revenue collected, not only in Wajir municipality, but also at the sub-county and ward and village levels. The other issue that the committee has recommended, which I want to laud for their efforts, is about this paper does not provide any guidelines on how to deal with the pending bills. And that's the big elephant in Wajir County today. We have a very huge pending bill that was left by the previous administration. And the committee has given the recommendation that the county treasury should come up with a commitment control policy on how to clear the current pending bills, in line with the Public Finance Management Act and the control of budget. Genuine pending bills should only be paid, because we have lofty, crafty entrepreneurs in the name of contractors who have done no job in this county. Yet, if you go to the county treasury, their files and documents are lying there waiting for payment. The county revenue, as per the recommendation by the Departmental Committee on Budget and Finance, should take this recommendation into consideration and ensure that the recommendations are taken care of, and that we have a clear modality and policy on payment of the pending bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other issue which the committee have left out, but as a recommendation they ought to include, was on the Department of Lands, Spatial Planning and Urban Development. As you are aware, most of our urban centers, including Wajir municipality, they are growing in length and breadth every day and every time. So the county treasury, together with the county, with the Committee on Budget, Finance and Appropriation, should look into ways going forward for the next financial year 2023-2024 on how to ensure that our sub-county headquarters have enough spatial plans in place. Issues to do with titling of plots is done in a very clear manner, together with the Ministry of Lands at the national level, and that we have a clear growth and development at the sub-county level. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Diis, for your valuable contribution. But I just want to warn the next honorable members who will be given the floor for debate that they should not be using their time on the floor as a campaign time. Next member, please. Next member, Honorable Abdulzak. Sorry. Honorable Ibrahim. Sorry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I rise to support the motion. I would like to put more emphasis on one thing, on the date on which these papers are supposed to be laid. We have ADP and CFSP. The annual development plan is supposed to be laid on 1st September. I would like to put this clarification for the interest of the House. It's supposed to be laid on 1st September so that the County Assembly members should deliberate. The CFSP should be laid on 28th February. Those dates are very important, but unfortunately, Wajir County being the only county that has not passed, that went for general election without passing the budget. Therefore, that was the genesis of all this misunderstanding why we have bulk of documents on our table today and we are discussing all these things at once. Mr. Speaker, I hope that the recommendation made by the public and the recommendation made by the committee will going to be there too, because the issue of the bending bills is one element.
Honorable Ibrahim, there is a point of order, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the platform. Just wanted to inform my colleague, Honorable Ibrahim Powagala, the annual development plan paper was already passed, so we cannot discuss on it again. Thank you.
Noted, Honorable.
Thank you, I noted. But the date is very important, Mr. Speaker, sir, for purposes of clarity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the issue of the bending bills, yes, in the recommendation, the fourth recommendation made by the committee is very important, because the issue of the bending bill has ravaged the economic status of this country. It is up and now those recommendations should be taken seriously, and it's up on the finance department to come up with a way to solve the bending bill issues. Mr. Speaker, sir, I hope that in the next budget, these papers will going to be laid at the right step time without consuming much of the time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I rise to support the motion.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on Wajir County Fiscal Strategy Paper, CFSP 2022, laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022, at 2:30 p.m. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, motion, adoption of the report of the Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the 2022-2023 budget estimates for Wajir County Government.
Honorable Chair for Budget, Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion that this County Assembly adopt the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriation on the 2022-2023 budget estimates for Wajir County Government laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. Preface, Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the members of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee, and as required by the Standing Order number 217.5, it is my pleasure to present to this House the committee's report on the financial year 2022-2023 budget estimate for the county government of Wajir submitted to the County Assembly on 24th October 2022 as required by the law. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is the 10th annual budget to be prepared under the new system of devolution and the first budget prepared under the current county administration, parliament, and in particular the County Assembly as a distinctive responsibility of being the only organ bestowed with the authority to approve the county budget. The role of the County Assembly in the budget process is clearly signposted in the Constitution, the Public Finance Management PFM Act, and various subsidiary legislation, including the standing orders. By being actively involved in the preparation, approval, and execution stages of the budget, this House has been able to not only ensure that there is transparency, accountability in the use of public resources, but also that the budget replicates the aspiration of the people. Mandate of the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 221 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the Public Finance Management Act 18 of 2012 contemplates that the committee of an assembly to do an oversight budget process. Further, our very own standing order number 194.1 provides for the establishment of the committee of the county assembly, whose main role is to take the lead in budgetary oversight by the county assembly. In this regard, standing order 194.3 establishes the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee with specific mandates, among which is to 1, investigate, inquire into and report on all matters related to coordination, control and monitoring of the county budget. 2, discuss and review the estimate and make recommendations to the House. 3, examine bills related to the county budget, including appropriation bill. Committee membership. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Budget and Appropriation Committee is currently constituted, comprises of the following honorable members: I, Hon Ahmed Senate Chairperson; 2, Hon Alan Abdi Bula, Vice Chairperson; 3, Hon Yusuf Mohammed, Member; 4, Hon Bahaba Yusuf Farah, Member; 5, Hon Abdulrazak Adaw, Member; 6, Hon Mahad Mohammed, Member; 7, Hon Mahfouda Abdullah, Member; 8, Hon Adam Noor Ibrahim, Member; 9, Hon Abdurrashid Adam, Member; 10, Hon Abdurrashid Moomin, Member; 11, Hon Abdulrazak Dakat, Member. Examination of the 2022-2023 budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, sir, as required by the Constitution, the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015 and our standing orders, the financial year 2022-2023 budget estimates for the 2 arms of the county government, namely county executive and the county assembly, was submitted to the county assembly on 24th October 2022 and thereafter laid before the House on 25th October 2022. In line with Article 201A of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Section 131(2) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, the committee also held public hearing on the proposed budget at the County ICT Hall on Wednesday, October 26, 2022. The views of the public on the proposed budget estimates have been incorporated in this report. Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 131(2) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 clearly establishes the basis for which the budget estimates are prepared and the manner in which the same estimates are dispensed with by the County Assembly relevant committee, which is the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee. Mr. Speaker, key issues of concern during scrutiny of the budget estimate is to establish the following issues. 1, whether budget is program-based and itemized in compliance with the Public Finance Management Act Act number 18 of 2012. Two, whether the budget complies with Regulation 41(2) of the Public Finance Management Regulation, Legal Notices number 35, 2015, and other relevant provisions thereof. Three, whether the budget adherence to the requirement of Section 129 and 130 of the Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012. 4, whether the budget complies with the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2022 adopted by the County Assembly with no amendment. 5, whether the budget complies with the relevant provision of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. 6, whether budget took into account the resolutions and recommendations of the County Assembly. In light of the above, members may realize that the section of the law have been fully met with. For instance, as per Section 131 and 2 and 3 of the PFM Act, the budget summary has been accompanied with the explanation of how the budget relates to the fiscal responsibility principles and financial objectives. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the past, this House was entangled in push and pull with the county executive over breach of certain provisions of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, PFM Act of 2012 on matters planning and budget. For instance, the ADP has been submitted after the statutory deadline. The county treasury was also submitting other important documents. At the last hour of the statutory deadline, the provisions of Section 104 of the County Government Act 2012 decree that the county government shall plan for the county and no funds shall be utilized outside framework developed by the county executive and approved by that the resources are spent in well thought out, organized priority areas. The annual development plan is therefore a critical pillar of this planning framework of the annual budgeting process. The ADP is a document that guides the subsequent processes in the budget cycle by aligning them in more realistic targets with aim of safeguarding that there is achievable growth trajectory within the resource constraints. Acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the members of Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee for their dedication, untiring commitment and valuable contributions. It is because of their dedication that we have been able to complete this demanding task within the stipulated time. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support received as discharged its mandate of the reviewing, analyzing, and reporting on the county budget estimate for financial year 2022-2023. The committee also wishes to acknowledge the members of the public for having honored the call of the County Assembly to take part of the public hearing and participation. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is therefore my pleasant duty and privilege on behalf of Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee to table this report and recommend it to the Assembly for adoption. Adherence of the budget estimate for financial year 2022-2023 to legal provisions. 1, Mr. Speaker, sir, Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012, Public Finance Management Regulation Legal Notice number 35, 2015, and the Constitution of Kenya 2010 clearly stipulates how the budget estimate should be presented and the manner in which they should be processed. 2, Mr. Speaker, sir, as the committee appreciates basis made by the county treasury in adhering to the legal provisions in the preparation of the budget estimate, it is worth noting that much needs to be done
Mr. Speaker, Regulation 26, Paragraph 4 of the Public Finance Management Regulation Legal Notice number 35 2015 and the Constitution of Kenya provides that once the county fiscal strategy paper is adopted by the county assembly, it shall serve as the basis of expenditure ceiling specified in the fiscal framework. In this case, the departmental ceiling set in the county fiscal strategy paper 2022 should be replicated in the budget estimate by financial year 2022-2023. Nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, sir, Regulation 27, Paragraph 6 of the Public Finance Management Regulation Legal Notice number 35, 2015 provides a window to the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning to give statements explaining deviations to the said ceiling, comparing the approved county fiscal strategy paper 2022-2023 and the budget estimate for financial year 2022-2023. Some departments deviated from the ceiling set in the former, but the same were explained by the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning in the budget estimate. To this end, Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning complied with the relevant provision of the law. 4, Mr. Speaker, Section 12 of the second schedule of Public Finance Management PFM Act 2012 requires county government to implement program-based budget (PPP). PPP is a form of budgeting that links the government budget and its use of resources directly to define public policy objectives and intended outcomes through programs. Though the county treasury prepared and submitted a program budget, the principles of program-based budgeting should be seen to have been inscribed in the budget through implementation of programs. Number 5, Mr. Speaker, sir, all over the world, there has been haste to shift from all forms of budgeting to program-based budgeting, PPP. PPP is meant to ensure that those who request can be able to explain the tail-end impact of those allocations on the general population. It also argues that budgetary allocations should also be done for programs that have measurable outputs with reasonable timelines and key performance indicators. The Budget Committee therefore reminds the County Treasury that budgeting should not be an annual ritual, but an activity that is geared toward having an impact by implementing plans and policies of county and the national government. Going forward, the committee therefore recommends that the county treasury should at all times provide budget which are program-based. Number 6, Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Section 107 of the PFM Act 2012 on fiscal responsibility principles, balanced budgets are mandatory in the sense that the county government expenditure shall not exceed its total revenue, while appreciating the strides made by the county treasury in enhancing local revenue collection. essence of the letter. Financing of the 2022-2023 budget. 15. Mr. Speaker, sir, the total county budget size for 2022-2023 is Kenya shilling 11,662,196,313. Thus, financing 100% of the total expenditure, where local revenue Kenya shilling 100 million, which will account for up to 0.9% of the total expenditure. The national government transfer amount of Kenya shilling 9,474,726,151 in financial year 2022-2023, which will cover up to 81.2% of the total expenditure needs. Other revenue sources account for 17.9%, which include 1. Kenya shilling 550 million from World Bank Wajir Water and Sanitation Project. Kenya shilling 230 million for Kenya Informal Settlement Improvement Project KISIB. Kenya shilling 18 million for Danida to finance UHC. Kenya shilling 63.5 million for Kenya Devolution Support Program KDSP. Kenya shilling 346 million Kenya Climate Smart Change, Smart Agriculture. Kenya shilling 12.8 million for agricultural sector development support. Kenya shilling 698 million for balance brought forward from the previous year. Kenya shilling 15 million from EU grant on instrument for devolution, advice and support ideas program. Kenya shilling 24 million for balance brought forward Kenya Upper Support Program. Submission from the public. Mr. Speaker, sir, the pinnacle of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the critical role that the public plays in the determination of how the resources are mobilized and how the same are utilized. To satisfy these legal requirements, ensure the county budget received input from the members of the public. The Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee undertook public hearing on 26 October 2022 at the County ICT Hall in Wajir Municipality. The following were the views of the public. One, the public suggested that the county should invest in agriculture so as to spur economic development of the county and food security. This includes investment in irrigation, provision of certified seeds to the farmers, among others. Two, enhance the extension services of livestock department. The public decried the absence of livestock officers and lack of veterinary medicine in some sub-counties. Number three, allocate more funds to water resources. Water is a backbone to development. The water department should develop a sound policy on water resource management and ensure access to water within a reasonable distance. This will also support good health and economic empowerment. Mr. Speaker, number five, Mr. Speaker, sir, during the public participation, it was acknowledged that in the fiscal years of the first county government of Wajir, people benefited from the Pro-Poor program at the grassroots level. For instance, large number of the students benefited from the county bursary kit. In this regard, the public proposed that this program be enhanced to continue supporting pro-poor activities to cover a wider population, taking into account Wajir is poverty-stricken and hardship area. The delayed disbursement of the last year bursaries was also a great concern to the public. Number six, there were concerns that previous opinion of the members of the public have not captured in planning and budgetary documents. Seven, delayed payment to suppliers or contractors which further accrued to be pending bills was an issue of concern during the public hearing. It was also pointed out that most of the health centers and dispensaries lack adequate necessary drug and lack of enough hospital equipment. The public noted that a huge chunk of funds has always been allocated to the health docket, yet service remained poor, and thus called upon the county to move with speed in transforming the sector. Ambulance services were also an issue to the public. Recommendations. Mr. Speaker, sir, having considered the above matters and to support the realization of the economic social goals of the county, the committee recommends the following policy measures: that all departments moving forward must strive to remain within the ceiling as provided in the House resolution on the county fiscal strategy paper, except where changes are absolutely necessary, and that the same are in line with the Regulation 26, Paragraph 6 of the Public Finance Management Regulation, legal notice number 35, 2015. This will ensure that the county fiscal strategy paper remains the policy anchor of the budget. That, number two, that the county treasury should ensure that the tenets of the program-based budgeting are clearly understood by the line departments and the targets and the outputs clearly defined to prevent a situation where some departments remain unaware of their targets and output. This will mainstream program-based budgeting as per Public Finance Management Act 2012. Number three, that specific departments should prioritize the expenditure to accommodate any outstanding bill on the commencement of the fiscal year in order to address this issue. Furthermore, there is need for proper framework in settling pending bills to ensure that this is not carried to the supplementary budget by being IFMIS complaint. Number four, that owing to the low revenue performance as compared to targeted revenue, the county treasury should desist from setting unrealizable revenue projection. There should be a well-structured unit on revenue management that should work towards enhancing the county fiscal performance. The committee regrets the minimal revenue realized locally that harms the process of the budget implementation through increased level of vending bills. Number five, that notwithstanding the provision of Section 129(2)(a) of the BFM Act 2012, the committee recommends that the county treasury should in future submit the county annual budget estimate to this assembly earlier than the statutory deadline for early consideration and approval by the county assembly. Six, lastly, that this House approve the budget estimate without amendment as proposed by the county treasury. And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this House resolves to approve the report of the Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee on the financial year 2022-2023 budget estimate for Wajir County Government. Thank you.
Somebody to second.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I move the motion and I request Abdirizak Dakat to second me.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, I now propose the motion that this assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the 2022-2023 budget estimates for Wajir County Government laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. The floor is open for debate. Honorable Umar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, Mr. Speaker, I'm indeed a very happy girl today, having a lady chairing the Budget Committee and also moving this motion, which is a weighty. And also, I would like to applaud the Budget Committee at large. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to second this motion. Thank you.
Support the motion.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Fatima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chair for Budget, Nemo, for doing a good work, and also her team, the members. I think we should make a mistake for the county government to salvage the little livestock that are left, and also to buy some food for the people and livestock feeds for the little animals that are left. I think we should move and fast track all these reports and pass the budget, and also to do some water tracking for the people who have shortage of water in their places, and for the government, for the county government to pay the pending bills that are making people close, that have made people close their shops and hardware, for them to revive their businesses. I think we need to pass the budget and the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Taimure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to support the motion, and I would like to thank the Committee for Finance, Budget and Appropriation for the work they have done and the report they have submitted to this House. I would like to thank them also for ensuring that this budget estimate is adherence to all the legal provisions, especially Public Finance Management Act number 18 of 2012. And also I can see public participation was done well, and their views and ideas were included in this report. I want also to request that in near future, when we are doing this county budget, we need to visit all the county wards so that we also ensure their views are captured well in these reports. And with those few, I want to say that I thank the committee and I support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Dakat, Abdulrazak Dakat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me the opportunity. I want to acknowledge the hard work by the committee under the leadership of the able lady, Nimro, taking the shortest time possible to compile this report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in preparation of this budget, in particular 2022-2023, is in accordance with sections of Constitution 2010. The section of 129 and 130 of the Public Finance Act, Management Act 2012 was under 131 section 131 of the County Assembly consideration for approval in the House was also considered, Mr. Speaker. It was also prepared in accordance with the standard of National Treasury as required by Section 40 of Public Finance Management Act, County Government Regulation 2015. Mr. Speaker, sir, the requirement also touched 107 PFM Act on his responsibility principle also was considered. Responsibility principles was considered. Mr. Speaker, as you know very well, the rains have failed terribly for successive seasons. The county government of Wajir is facing profound economic crisis, water crisis devastating life in the entire county. We are supposed to pass this budget so that we expedite on water tracking and embark on other initiatives later stage, Mr. Speaker. Salaries have not been paid late since banks can no longer loan the county to meet the current expenditures. Mr. Speaker, the soaring food prices across the world has affected negatively our county. People cannot buy food stuff. They cannot have money. They don't have money. They don't have livestock. The county of Wajir did not pass its budget on time. Hence, aid. There is no aid which can be put by the county government of Wajir, Mr. Speaker. A number of students dropped out of school, especially from 4th and from 3s, Mr. Speaker. School fees is giving headache to already vulnerable members of the society, Mr. Speaker. There is need for agents' intervention to save further effects of this drought, Mr. Speaker, with NDMA projection showing little or no rainfall during the October and December, Mr. Speaker. Today, Mr. Speaker, therefore, it is where elasticity of leadership is tested, Mr. Speaker, and we have to stand by our people who elected us. I urge the members of this House, Mr. Speaker, without any amendment to this document, let's, with a supersonic speed, pass this budget so that we also get our salaries. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I realized Honorable Dakat seconded the motion. If you have been given an opportunity like that, you need to expound just the way Honorable Dakat did now, because I hear the standing orders do not allow somebody who has seconded a motion to contribute again. So for future references. Honorable Aden.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute this bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support the bill because the bill has met all the criteria which are required under the law, which includes the public participation and all the financial actors which are necessary as far as a bill is concerned. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also take this opportunity to thank the Committee of Budget. Because of their tight time, they have really done a well job. The other thing is, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think we are in a bad situation as far as this basin drought is concerned. So I think this will be a good one for the honorable members to pass this bill without any objection. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the pending bills, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to recommend the county treasury to speed up and pay the bills which has been done, because I understand there are so many issues. Some shops have been closed due to these pending bills. So I should urge the county treasury to fast track that. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the bill. Thank you very much.
Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. From the word go, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to support the chairmanship of Honorable Nim Asane. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, and we, the women of MCS, take pride in our election in this very important committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask to support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bullet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the motion. First and foremost, I might take this very opportunity once again to thank the entire Finance, Budget, and Appropriation team, together with the technical team who have prepared this document. For sure, the very short notice, the good work done by the team, by both teams, is wonderful. Further, we very well know that this budget is very unique. This budget was supposed to be passed by the previous assembly. Somehow, in one way or another, we are doing it in a very fast processes. This budget, in a normal cycle, should undergo rigorous public participation, where we take their inputs, take to all the sub-counties, hear their views, minute it, and add to the budget. I therefore say in the next or the follow-up budget of this budget, our technical team, together with the committee, should be given ample time to work on the budget so that we come up with a very nice document than this. However, I want to tell my fellow members to pay attention on the recommendations given on each of the policies together with the budget paper. Now on this budget paper we have now on the floor of the House, there are recommendations. The first recommendation says that the department moving forward must strive to remain within the ceiling of the budget. We very well know that this county is having a huge spending bill. That was attributed by somehow, if I say, the controlling officers, say so the chief officers and the executive. Sometimes they are the controlling officers or the IE holders. Therefore, they must be accountable on what they sign. If they're signing LSO purchase order, they must ensure that that services must be paid within that budget year, that financial year. It shall not be carried forward to the next financial year. Therefore, we want this House to be vigilant and from now onwards be watchful on any officer who, in one way or another, does not adhere to these rules. With those few recommendations, we also know that currently a number of schools going children have been chased from schools. I therefore request the executive to expedite, once we pass this bill, on the drought mitigation as well as bursary disbursement. With those few contributions, I support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Adamur.
Sorry. And prepare this budget in accordance with the law and putting the interest of the people first. There are some few deviations from county fiscal strategy paper, which is allowed in the law. The Public Finance Management Act, PFM Act, Section 108(1) allows it, and it says a county government may, with approval of its assembly, deviate from the financial objectives in the relevant county fiscal strategy paper, but only on a temporary basis and only if the deviation is required because of a major natural disaster or some other significant unforeseen event. And two, if there is a change of county government, the new county government may deviate from the financial objectives in the county fiscal strategy paper, but may not deviate from the fiscal responsibility of the objectives. Pursuant to that section, the executive, they have deviated in response to that sections of the law. If I can also confirm that to this House that information proposals that has been provided by the executive is to our satisfactory, and the deviation is purposely on the drought is confirmation of section 108(1), and also which is most of the funds has gone to a drought response, drought emergency response, and also aligned their manifesto to the strategy paper, fiscal strategy paper. Therefore, they have, I applaud them, and also I want to bring to the information of my aspiring chair of agriculture that your recommendation has been well captured in the budget. The county public service, the county fiscal strategy paper indicated 660 million, but in this budget, it is 754 million, the highest development budget allocated to the Department of Agriculture. So that is a recommendation, and which is also as a long-term plan for this county to mitigate food security. I thank the department or the executive, the finance department, and also the budget and appropriation, finance budget and appropriation committee for the job well done, helped by the secretariat. Thank you, and I support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Budget and Appropriations on the 2022-2023 budget estimates for Wajir County Government laid on the table of the Assembly today, Thursday, October 27th, 2022 at 2:30 p.m. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 11, procedural motion, reduction of publication period. Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move a motion that notwithstanding the provision of Standing Order number 124, the Assembly resolves to reduce the publication period of the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 from 7 days to 1 day. That okay, Mr. Speaker, sir, to see the legality of shortening, I beg to verify and read the Standing Order on publication, page 78, and I read. I read 124, no bill shall be introduced unless such bill together with a memorandum refers to the Standing Order 121, memorandum of objective and reason has been published in one county gazette, and that Kenya Gazette as a bill to be originated in the county assembly. County assembly, unless in the case of county revenue fund bill, an appropriation bill on supplementary and appropriation bill, a period of 7 days, and in the case of any other bill, a period of 14 days, beginning in each case from the day of such reduction in such a matter, a period of the county assembly may resolve with the respect in the bill has ended. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, as we read the Standing Order and allows to shorten a period, but that is time from 7 to 1 day as need arises. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like the House to pass this bill, considering the state of our county and the need to our people. Thank you. Mr. Beckett to Horn Beckett to Second. Honorable members, I now propose the motion that notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order number 124, this Assembly resolves to reduce the publication period of the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 from 7 days to 1 day. The floor is open for debate. Honorable Yusuf.
I support the motion because, honorable members, we are in a crisis. As you know, the county is facing a crisis because of the delay of the budget. So we need to shorten the period and pass this appropriation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly, I now put the question that notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order number 124, this assembly resolves to reduce the publication period of the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 from 7 days to 1 day. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022, first reading. The Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Wajir to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the consolidated fund and its application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2023, and to appropriate that sum and a sum voted on account by the County Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
Next order.
Order number 13, the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022, second reading. Chair, County Finance, Budget and Appropriation Committee.
Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be read for the second time. I request MCA Habaswani Ahmed to second me.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be read for the second time. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 to be now read the second time. Next. I now put the question, the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be now read the second time. As many as of the same opinion say aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order, please.
Order number 14, Committee of the Whole House, the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022, Chairperson, County Finance, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Honorable members, we are now in the committee of the whole house.
Clause 2.
Chair, is there an amendment to clause 2?
No amendments, Mr. Speaker.
I now propose clause 2 to be part of the bill. I now put the question, clause 2 to be part of the bill. As many of the same opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule.
Honorable Chair, schedule. Is there any amendment on R1?
No amendment.
And I now propose the amount requested in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the County Executive Office of the Governor, 565,833,336 be part of the bill. I will now put the question R1, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the County Executive Office of the Governor, 565,833,336 be part of the bill. As many of the same opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Chair, is there an amendment on R2?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount requested required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expense of the County Assembly, 853,341, 593 be part of the bill. I now put the question R2, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the County Assembly, 853,341,593 be part of the bill? Will as many of the same opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chair, is there any amendment on R3?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required. I now propose R3, the amount required
Point of order.
in the year ending.
Deputy Speaker, point of order, please.
Yes,
We are floating. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we are floating, please.
I now propose R3, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Finance and Economic Planning, 690,050,324, be part of the bill. I now put the question R3, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Finance and Economic Planning, 690,050,324, be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chair, is there an amendment to R4?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Health Services, 2,564,817,881,811 be part of the bill. I now put the question R4, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for the salaries and expenses of the Department of Health Services, 2,564,817,811 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is there an amendment to R5, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Water Resources, 243,925,919. I now put the question R05, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Water Resources, 243,925,919 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chair, is there any amendment on R6? I now propose R6, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Land and Spatial Planning, 45,640,339 be part of the bill. I now put the question R6, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Land and Spatial Planning, 45,640,739 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment to R7, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose R7, the amount required in the year ending ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Roads, Transport and Public Works and Housing, 164,700,836 be part of the bill. I now put the question R7, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Roads, Transport, Public Works and Housing, 164,700,836 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is there any amendment on R08, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Veterinary Services, 364,615 be part of the bill. I now put the question R8, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Veterinary Services, 384,065,615 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chair, is there any amendment on R9?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Education, Special Welfare and Family Affairs, 721,474,895 be part of the bill. I now put the question R9, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses for the Department of Education, Special Welfare, Family Affairs, 721,474,895 be part of the bill. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is there any amendment on R10, Chair?
No amendment.
The amount I now propose, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of ICT, Trade, Investment and Industry, 176,406,560 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of ICT, Trade, Investment and Industries, 176,406,560 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. R11, any amendment, Chair?
No amendment.
The amount required, I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for the salaries and expenses of the Department of Public Service, Special Programs and County Administration, 660,623,205 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Public Services, Special Programs and County Administration be part of the bill. 660,623,205 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Chair, is there any amendment on R12?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, 884,276,488 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, 84,276,488 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is there an amendment on R13, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the County Public Service Board, 83,812,668 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of the County Public Service Board, 83,812,668 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment on R14, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of Wajir Wasco, 143,575,546 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of Wajir Wasco, 143,575,546 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment on R15, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses for Wajir Municipality, 209,688,284 to be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for salaries and expenses of Wajir Municipality, 209,688,284 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, let's go to Schedule 2. Honorable Chair, is there any amendment on B1?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure for the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Veterinary Services, 754,209,312 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for the capital expenditure of the Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Veterinary Services, 754,209,312 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Chair, is there an amendment to D02?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Water Department, 532,500,000 to be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure on the Department, 532,500,000 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Chair, is there an amendment on D03?
No amendment.
I now propose the required amount in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Health Services, 474,385,028 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Health Services, 474,385,028 to be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Chair, is there an amendment on D04?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure for the Department of Roads, Transport, Public Works and Housing Department, 458,800,000 be part of the bill. I now put the question, will as many of the same... I am now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Roads, Transport, Public Works and Housing Department, 458,800,000 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And is there an amendment, Chair, on D05?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure for the Department of Education, Social Welfare and Family Affairs, 244,388,000 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Education, Social Welfare and Family Affairs, 244,388,000 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment on D6, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of ICT, Trade, Investment and Industry, 286,600,000 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of ICT, Trade and Investment and Industry, 286,600,000 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment on D07, Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Land Spatial Planning, 281,417,588 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for the capital expenditure of the Department of Lands and Spatial Planning, 281,417,588 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Any amendment on D08, Honorable Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for special expenditure for capital expenditure of the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, 297,200,000 be part of the bill. I now put the question, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Change, 297,200,000 be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? Is there any amendment on D9, D09?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of Wajir Wasco for 570 million be part of the bill. I now put the question: the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of Wajir Wasco 570 million be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is there an amendment on D10, Honorable Chair?
No amendment.
I now propose the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Public Services, Special Programs and County Administration, 7 million, be part of the bill. I now put the question: the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Public Services, Special Programs and County Administration, 7 million, be part of the bill. Will as many of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Chair, is there an amendment on D12?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, it's supposed to be B11, but not B12. Mr. Speaker, there is a movement on numbering. Instead of B11, B12 instead, it's supposed to be B11.
Honorable members, I now propose the amendment on numbering. Instead of D12 to read D11, and the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Department of Wajir Municipality, 163,462,565 be part of the bill. I now put the question: with amendment on numbering, instead of D12 to read D11, the amount required in the year ending 30th June 2023 for capital expenditure of the Wajir Municipality, 163,462,565 be part of the bill. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I beg to move that the committee do report to Assembly its consideration of the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 and its approval thereof without amendment.
Honorable members, I will put the question, which is that the committee do report to the Assembly the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 20 Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole Assembly has considered the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 and approved the same without amendments.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the Assembly do agree with the committee in the said report.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is the Assembly do agree with the committee in the said report. I now put the question as which is the Assembly does agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say no? The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be now read a third time. I request Abdurrashid Morning Dash to second me.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I now beg to second the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 to be read in the third time now. Thank you.
Honorable members, I will propose the question, which is that the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now will put the question, which is that the Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022 be now read a third time. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
The Wajir County Appropriation Bill 2022, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Wajir to authorize the issue of the sum of money out of the consolidated fund and its application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2023, and to appropriate that sum and a sum voted on account by the County Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
There being no other business, we now adjourn the House to Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. House stands adjourned.